Close your eyes and feel the breath that moves within you right now. You have the vision of the life you desire stored deep in your mind. You set goals that shine with possibility and promise transformation. Yet you wake each morning sensing an invisible force tethering you to the same patterns. You know you want to rewrite your story and elevate your reality. You long for a breakthrough, but you encounter resistance defying rational explanation. You are not alone in this paradox. Millions of seekers share the same struggle between desire and manifestation. What if the gap between intention and reality were not a flaw, but a signal? What if the universe itself were offering clues hidden in the fabric of existence? Imagine stepping through a subtle membrane, separating what you see from what you could experience. In this video, you will discover how to navigate the quantum blueprint of your potential. You will learn practical strategies aligning your actions with the unseen mechanisms shaping outcomes. If you see yourself in this scenario and want to always receive powerful messages like the OE you are about to hear, we invite you to join our community by subscribing to the channel. Now, if you are prepared, let's enter the quantum zone together. Have you ever noticed that the more you strive for change, the more resistance seems to mount in your path? We push with every ounce of willpower, only to feel like we are treading water in a storm. This phenomenon is known as quantum friction, because it emerges at the interface of your conscious intention and the subconscious field of beliefs that hold you back. It feels like moving through thick mist or wading through honey that slows every determined step. You have practiced affirmations, visualizations, and disciplined routines, only to witness the same invisible barrier stall your momentum. This enduring friction originates from patterns buried deep in your psyche, like sedimented layers at the bottom of a vast ocean. To uncover its source, we must embark on an inner journey through the subtle architecture of your consciousness. Imagine your mind as a great ocean, where your aspirations are like a swift current eager to carry you toward new horizons. But unseen sediments of old beliefs create drag against your forward motion. If you pause to observe those sediments, you will recognize moments when doubt, self-criticism, and hesitation surface without warning. Perhaps you have experienced that intrusive thought telling you that you are not qualified, or that success is reserved for others. Those fleeting judgments are echoes of an old identity, scripted by subconscious programming during childhood schooling and social conditioning. They act as resistance points in the quantum fabric of your potential. You are not failing because you lack desire or effort. You are encountering the natural resistance of a system recalibrating itself to a new state of coherence. Neuroscience reveals that our neural networks favor familiar patterns of thought and behavior, even if they cause discomfort. Research on neuroplasticity shows that repeated mental habits reinforce established pathways in the brain at the expense of new connections. Your brain seeks energy efficiency by rerouting attention toward these automated circuits, creating the energetic drag we call quantum friction. To overcome it, we need to realign the observer with the observed, shifting your focus from what blocks you to the possibilities that await. But before we do that, we must become acutely aware of the unseen forces at play. Consider moments when you step onto a new path only to feel an invisible rubber band pulling you back. You decide to ask for that promotion or to commit to a new habit, yet an inner voice whispers doubt and caution. This is quantum friction in action, inviting you to cling to familiar patterns. You see it in relationships when you long for deeper bonds, but unconsciously repeat old scripts. Allow me to share a story of an alchemist who sought to transmute base metal into gold. For years, he experimented with elaborate formulae, furnace designs, and elixirs without success. He grew frustrated as his failures mounted, until one day he realized that the purity of his intention needed to match the vibration of the desired outcome. He shifted his approach, refining his focus with meditative clarity and harmonizing his emotional state with unwavering faith. Suddenly, his experiments began to yield extraordinary results, producing gold of rare luster. This tale mirrors your own quest to reshape reality, revealing that transformation requires both precise intention and fluid alignment with the underlying quantum field. The friction you face signals the need to refine your energetic signature through conscious awareness and intentional practice. Now let us introduce a simple micro-practice anchored in quantum coherence research. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Inhale smoothly to the count of 4, pause for 2, and exhale to the count of 6. As you breathe, visualize the membrane between your current reality and your ideal self, dissolving with each breath. This breathing pattern shifts your autonomic nervous system into a balanced state and enhances heart rate variability, which promotes clarity of focus and emotional resilience. Research shows that extending the exhale by 20% signals your brain to reduce stress hormone release and strengthen new neural connections. Repeat this cycle for 3 minutes each morning while holding the image of your desired outcome as already achieved. As a bonus, after the coherence breath, visualize a thread of light connecting your heart to the quantum field. Hold this image for 15 seconds while breathing gently. This bridges intent and experience by engaging mind and body. Over days, you will notice that actions which once felt laborious now flow with ease and momentum. If you have ever felt stuck in relentless loops of effort without progress, this ritual will begin to smooth the energetic edges that create friction. And there is an even deeper revelation to come. In the next chapter, we will explore how the observer effect holds the key to simplicity. Have you ever paused a moment to notice how your attention shifts the tone of an experience? Imagine 2 identical seedlings growing in separate rooms. In one room, a gardener watches attentively, measuring growth while speaking words of encouragement. In the other room, the plant is cared for but never observed with focused intention. Remarkably, the observed seedling flourishes with stronger stems and vibrant leaves. This is no botanical miracle, but an echo of the observer effect discovered by quantum physicists. The observer effect first emerged in experiments with the double slit pattern in early 20th century. Researchers saw light behave like a wave until detectors imposed a measurement. As soon as they observed individual photons, they collapsed into particle streams. This revelation shook our understanding of fixed reality and unveiled the power of observation. At the quantum level, particles exist in a superposition of states until observed. The act of measurement collapses endless possibilities into a single reality. Your mind operates on the same principle, weaving your beliefs into the tapestry of experience. When you examine a feeling with pure attention, you collapse uncertainty into clarity. When you observe your thoughts without judgment, you shift them from noise into guided signals. Such simple acts of witnessing have cascading effects across your emotional and neural landscape. What if your life works by the same principle? Every thought you hold is a measurement that influences the collapse of your potential. When you fixate on lack, you reinforce patterns of scarcity. When you train your awareness on vision, you awaken possibilities of abundance. The observer effect holds the key to profound simplicity. Instead of layering more techniques, you learn to harness the power of focused attention. You are not adding complexity, you are refining your lens. If you really pause to consider your daily routines, you will see countless moments of unfocused living. We scroll our phones, gaze out windows, or replay regrets without intention. Each unfocused moment disperses energy into noise instead of directing it toward meaningful creation. But by consciously choosing where to place your attention, you begin to shape reality with less effort. Neuroscience confirms that attention strengthens neural pathways aligned with what you focus on. Studies of brain networks reveal that focused intention activates regions responsible for goal-driven behavior. When you break patterns of distracted living, you free cognitive resources for deliberate transformation. Physicists observed electrons behaving like waves until measured with detectors. As soon as a detector traces their path, the wave pattern disappears into particles. This simple act of observation alters reality at the smallest scales. Your daily observations have the same creative power in subtle ways. Consider how your expectations influence outcomes in everyday activities. When you enter a meeting anticipating conflict, you unconsciously trigger tension. When you approach a conversation with curiosity, you invite openness and understanding. Research in contemplative science shows that sustained attention rewires circuits for resilience and creativity. Let me share a story of a musician who struggled with stage fright. Each time she took the stage, her nerves amplified every note into an avalanche of fear. Then she tried a simple experiment inspired by the observer effect. Before her performance, she closed her eyes and observed the trembling in her hands as if they belonged to someone else. She noted the sensation without labeling it good or bad. As she watched the tremor, her fear began to shrink like waves dissipating on the shore. She realized that the act of observation creates a separation between self and experience. That moment of witnessing granted her the clarity to play with confidence. You too can adopt this practice in any situation that triggers anxiety or self-doubt. Now let us introduce a simple micro-practice grounded in these principles. Each morning for 5 minutes, pause and observe a single emotion flowing through your body. Sit quietly and feel the sensation of that emotion as if you were an impartial witness. Label it gently if you wish, and then return your focus to your breath. This practice trains your mind to collapse mental noise and sharpen clarity. Over time, intrusive doubts will lose their grip, and your actions will align more easily with your intent. The discipline of observation becomes a transformative art, and there is a profound next step awaiting you. In the following chapter, you will learn a 3-step quantum shift that consolidates intention, observer, and action into one fluid process. There is a path that moves beyond focus alone. If you have tasted the power of observation, you are ready to integrate intention and action in one seamless flow. Here is a 3-step quantum shift you can apply today. This sequence bridges theory with practice by uniting mind, heart, and action into one coherent field. You will notice immediate subtle shifts as you engage this alignment. Each moment of practice plants seeds for profound, long-term transformation. Step 1 clarifies and amplifies your quantum intention. Your intention serves as a blueprint that codes the potential of your reality. When you define your intention with precision, you create a template that the quantum field can recognize. Ambiguity in language generates noise in the field and weakens your signal. Silent doubts slip through gaps when you anchor your vision with vague words. Spend 5 quiet minutes each morning writing your intention as a clear, present-tense sentence. For example, write, "I am experiencing radiant health, vitality, and effortless success every day." Use vivid sensory words, such as "I feel the warmth of energy coursing through my body." Speaking your intention aloud engages auditory neural circuits to embed the message deeply. Neuroscience confirms that integrating spoken language with written words enhances retention and motivation. As you write, pause to scan for any limiting beliefs or hesitations in your phrasing. If doubt arises, identify the fear behind it and reword your statement until it feels expansive. This iterative ritual rewires neural loops by replacing uncertainty with unwavering conviction. Imagine an architect sketching every detail before the foundation is poured and executing exactly to plan. Your intention becomes the blueprint, and your actions build the structure of your new reality. Place the written statement where you will see it each morning as the first impulse of your day. Let this step transform vague longing into a powerful directional force. By refining your intention, you are tuning your quantum transmitter to the precise frequency of your desire. As you refine your intention, you uncover subconscious fears that once ruled your behavior. This process invites you to shed your old identity and step into a more empowered version of yourself. Step 2 anchors your coherent resonance through a simple micro-practice. Begin by placing one hand over your heart and the other on your solar plexus to connect with your emotional and power centers. Inhale gently to the count of 5, pause for 3, and exhale to the count of 7. Allow each breath to carry your awareness into the subtle space between intention and manifestation. Neuroscience demonstrates that heart-brain coherence synchronizes neural networks, enhancing cognitive function and emotional resilience. Research by the HeartMath Institute shows that this breathing pattern increases heart rate variability, signaling greater stress tolerance and mental clarity. As you adopt this rhythm, recall your crafted intention statement in your mind, feeling its energy resonate through each inhale. Sense the vibration spreading from your heart to every cell, dissolving residual tension points like ripples smoothing on a pond. At the peak of each exhale, lightly press your thumb and forefinger together to create a tactile anchor for this coherent state. This gesture conditions your neural pathways, linking the physical touch with the elevated frequency of calm confidence. When self-doubt or old fear arise, repeat the breath and gesture to trigger instant coherence. This micro-practice reveals subconscious resistance lodged in your emotional body and transmutes it into a stable, energetic platform. Imagine 2 radio dials, one tuning into endless static of past conditioning, the other locked precisely on the frequency of your desire. Your focus shifts the dial of your inner radio until the signal of your vision comes through clearly. By anchoring coherence daily, you retrain your nervous system to favor states of flow rather than stress. Over time, this stable inner baseline reduces quantum friction and aligns your mindset with effortless creation. Finally, express gratitude silently for the clarity you have cultivated, sealing the energetic shift with appreciation. This practice also opens a window to your deeper identity by illuminating emotional triggers operating below conscious awareness. Step 3 translates your refined intention and anchored resonance into purposeful micro-actions. Begin by identifying the smallest actionable movement that leads you toward your intended reality. This could be writing a single sentence, drafting an outline, making one phone call, or speaking a brief affirmation in front of a mirror. Studies on habit formation indicate that when actions require minimal effort, the brain lowers resistance and fosters consistency. By focusing on micro-targets, you harness the quantum field's capacity to magnify even the tiniest shift. Consider a dancer mastering a complex routine by learning one precise movement at a time. Each repetition builds muscle memory and neuronal connections until the entire choreography flows effortlessly. Similarly, each micro-action initiates subtle changes in both your external environment and your internal mindset. After completing your breathing ritual and tactile anchor, choose your micro-action and perform it immediately. Celebrate this achievement with a simple gesture, such as a nod or a soft exhale of gratitude. This acknowledgement amplifies the positive feedback loop in your neurochemistry. Then, jot down a quick note recording how it felt to take this step. The act of writing consolidates the experience and signals your subconscious that progress is possible. Over days, these consistent micro-actions accumulate into transformative waves of momentum that carry you toward your vision. Imagine a river carving a canyon by eroding rock one molecule at a time. Your small, consistent steps wield the same creative power over your reality. If you see hesitation arise, pause, repeat the coherence breath, recall your intention, and proceed again. This closes the loop between intention, observation, and action into a unified quantum shift. Micro-actions serve like ripples that expand outward until they touch every area of your life. Consistency in these small deeds rewrites the story of who you believe yourself to be. And now there is one final bridge to cross. In the conclusion, you will step through the quantum gateway into your aligned future. Hold your commitment to these steps as an act of devotion to your highest potential. You now understand why your deepest yearning collides with quantum friction. You now appreciate how the observer effect empowers simplicity. You now possess a 3-step quantum shift that unites intention, observation, and action into one fluid process. What would your life look like if you truly stepped through the quantum bridge into your aligned future? Imagine each breath and each micro-action carrying you closer to manifesting your highest potential. Consider how each moment of focused attention can collapse a field of infinite possibilities into your chosen reality. If you absorb this message and belong to the few who will put it into practice to transform your reality, comment aligned reality below. Now, if you are ready to continue your journey, 2 videos will appear on your screen. One will guide you deeper into self-discovery, and the other will reveal something you never imagined. I cannot tell you which is which. Just trust the frequency that resonates most within you. Embrace this transformation as your new normal. I hope to see you on the other side.